let's talk about the proper placement of your illustrations. All right, so I remember when I was in undergrad, and the homiletics professors used to talk to us about contemporary application. And they used to tell us to place the contemporary application near the end, right? And I know and I see that this is like a common practice among speakers, right? So the temptation and the challenge is that you want to get through kind of the meat of your content and then connect people to it at the end. The problem with that is that you generally are going to lose people in this process of explaining this weighty information. So here's what I want you to try to do, and the best speakers do this very well. Wherever you put a point, put an illustration. Wherever you place the point, place the illustration. So you got a major point, put it next to the point. Put it next to the point. You're making a point, make the illustration. You're making a point, you got to make it clear. You're sharing a big idea, you got to share those concepts that help them understand the big idea. Put the story, put the illustration next to the point. And it's so important because what it does is it helps your audience to keep following you. It helps the audience to stay with you. So the idea is you're sharing this big idea, right? But you got to share something that help people to connect with the big idea. Share that funny story. And maybe we need to talk about how humor helps people to accept or to stomach some difficult ideas. But that's the point. If you're sharing something that's difficult, you're not going to wait 10 minutes to lighten the mood. You want to share that funny story right then and there so that the people will relax. So you put the illustration, put it next to the point. But then there's another piece to this, right? That one of the things I always do, and maybe we'll talk about this next time, right? One of the things that I always do is I always tell a story or some kind of, learners in homiletics do, attention getter at the beginning, right? That I need something that is going to grab my audience's attention at the very start of my time, right? So at the very beginning of the article, there is a story there. There is an anecdote. There's a quote. I hardly ever use quotes. But there is something that's compelling that grabs the attention. And then what I'm going to do is at the end, I'm going to share another anecdote, another story, another illustration that helps to bring it home. So that to the first story kind of puts it in perspective and helps them to connect. But then that last story, that last illustration is going to bring it all together, kind of like a final word. So I'm going to illustration at the front, illustration at the back, and I'm going to put the illustration next to the point. I'm going to put it next to the point all throughout because the illustrations are what really drive it home, and it's what's going to keep my audience with me along the way. Once again, if you have questions, comments, thoughts, ideas, something you want me to discuss on the Thinkin chair, I want you to put it in the comment section below, or you can hit me up at ccthinkinright or go to thinkinright.com and make sure you share your ideas, your thoughts, your questions so that we together can create quality church content.